Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how to create that route controller, how to create that group route, how to load some of the view page by this method, right? How to load this. I hope everything is very much clear to you. So friend, that is all that basic concept, that is main core functionality actually. So if you understand my every step-by-step process, Laravel will be just like as a water flow. Trust me, just simply understand all my step-by-step process. Okay, now in this video I want to do, I have already created two of this page. One is the about, another is the contact, right? Now I want to put some of the link, like I show you. If you go to our contact page, and from to the contact page I want to add one of the a href, okay, that will be a, and I want to close it. I want to close that a, and then that will be as on the href, right? That will be as a href. So I want to use some of the href, and then into this href area I want to like from to the contact page I want to go to that about page. So that will be as about. Okay, I make it as about. Great. And from into the about page area, now I want to add on the route. I want to put on the link. I have already created on the route as a /about, and then that will be as a /contact, right? I have already loaded that method, and into this method that will be written on the view page, which is totally fine. Now into the contact page that will be redirected to our about. So here if you want to add that route link, we have to create another route. Like I put that route, okay, then the process will be route. So that is a route, and I want to put on the route name. Whatever the name actually you choose, I name it right now for education purpose as a about. Okay, about dot page. Well, this type of one of the route. Now we have to allocate it that route name. We have to allocate it that route name. It will be redirected to our which page, that will be redirected to our about. Right here we have to add that route name. If you want to use that route name, then that will be as a name. That means that will be on the name route, and into this name route area I name it as a about page. Okay, how much easy it is, you can see. I hope it's very much clear to you. So that is a name route. Okay, here I have already created that route. That is on the name route. I have put it as a about page, and now that will be as a name route as a about page. So now automatically that will be hit our name route, and then that will be one of the /about. It will be loaded our method as index. Then it will be go to our controller. Into this controller I have already created that index method. It will be written on the view page as a about. Right now let's check this out. If you now click the save all, I have already added that link as a for the about page in our contact, right? If you now go to our contact, I click the refresh. Now you can see there is one of the link as about, and here if you put your cursor, you can see it's now successfully get that our URL as a /about. Now click the about, it will be returned direct to our about page, right? So it's now successfully returned direct to the about page. That is our one of the route as a name route. Just simply remember that part, that is on the name route. Here I have already loaded, and now I want to do the same things. Better I copy it. Okay, copy it, and now in our about page I want to add another link. I name it as that will be as a contact, right? Then that will be redirect to the contact page from to the about page. Now I want to create another one as a contact page. Okay, then that will be our another name route as a contact page. Now we have to add it in our web. Into this web, then that will be returned direct to the /contact. So I want to use that our name route. Our name route will be the name, and then I name it as a contact page. Great. That means it will be when our that is in our about page, that is a route name, I name it as a contact page. In our web, then that will be our name route. It will be get our that route, okay, and then it will be get that our /contact, and that is our method. It will be redirected to our controller. I have already loaded that controller. That is our controller, and with this controller, that is our method will be executed, and it will be redirected to our contact page. Now if you click as a save all, now if you go, I refresh it. Now you can see there is another link as a contact. So if you put your cursor, you can see it's now display as a /contact. If you go to that contact, it will be redirected to the contact page. If you go to that about, it will be redirected to the about page. I hope friend you get that idea how to load that name route. So that is actually our name route. You can also pass that link by the URL. Like I show you, if you go to our contact, into this contact, before I use that as a route, that is a route name. You can also use that as a URL. Then that will be as a URL route, that is URL, and into this URL area here I have already named it, and that will be as a /about, right? I copy it, and then here I want to use that as a URL route, so that will be as a /about. Okay, when that will be the /about, then that will be as a direct one. So right now we don't need to use that as a name route. I simply close it, and that means remove it. Then that will be also work like a save all. I have updated in our contact, that is a URL. Now if you go refresh it, and now that is our contact page. I want to go to that contact page, and from the contact page there is a about. You can see that is the same things as a about. If you now click as about, it's also successfully working. I hope you get that idea, that URL, that is URL route, and also there is another one as a name route. So what exactly the difference between both of these? Like if you now update your URL, like your URL is like that, okay? Your URL is like that. There is so many big size, right? Now if you want to use that as a URL, okay, here that is a URL route. So when you use that as a URL route, here you have to also add that appropriate that route. That means here we have to use it. I copied, and then here we have to paste it. Okay, that means your total URL here you have to add. Now if you click as a save all, that should be work. Now click as a refresh. Okay, now there is a about is not exist because of all I have already changed that our URL, right? Now if you go to that our contact page, I want to refresh it first. You can refresh it, and now if you put your cursor, you can see that is our URL. Now if you click it, our URL is become changed. So that is little bit annoying, right? That is a little bit annoying because of all, if you have that very long URL, then that URL is not appropriate. But here if you use that as a name route, so I make it as again as a route, okay, route, and I name that again as a, that will be as a about page. Okay, about page, I name it as a about page. So when you use that as a name route, then I simply update that route again. Whatever the URL right now, that is doesn't matter. I want to use it by the name. I name it, which one? I name it as a about page. So now URL is doesn't matter. Now it should be get that our name route, and with this name route it should be get that our URL. Now if you click as a save all, now if you refresh it, okay, refresh it. Now if you go to that contact page, now you can see there is a contact page, and if you go to that about page, yes, you can see it's now successfully loaded. Here you don't need to pass your total URL in here. So that is the main difference between using that a name route and then the URL route. I hope friend it's very much clear to you right now how to use that name route and why you should use that name route, and if your URL is very small, you can also use it as a URL route. Okay, I have shared both of this with you, which is totally fine. In our next video, I will discuss about another most important part as a middleware. How can create some of the middleware and how can working with this, I will show you that thing.